Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about the topic economic reforms, the need of economic reforms and in what areas the economic reforms activated. So in my I have I'm showing you with the help of PPT. There are few slides in that. So here in the first we can see what is the meaning of the economic reforms. So economic reforms means so any kind of change in the economy, a big drastic, a big bad change is called as reforms, or you can say sometimes we need to bring some deregulations or we need to change some policies, procedures. So the government name it as reforms. Big bang changes in the economy. So economic reforms refer to the fundamental changes that were launched especially in 1991 with the plan of liberalizing the economy or to quicken the rate of the economic growth. So the essential features of economic reforms are taken place as liberalization, privatization, and globalization, as everyone knows that. So the economic reforms, why they are called as economic reforms? Because these were the big drastic changes which were taken place in the 1991 under the supervision or government of Congress and under the when finance minister Manmohan Singh was acting as finance minister of the country, right? So the first here slide is showing you about the need of economic reforms. So first here you can see the increase in the fiscal deficit. So I have also discussed earlier the meaning of the fiscal deficit means the deficiency of no doubt the finance when your payments are more than your revenues, when you have less to spend in the economy. So in that case the economy faces the fiscal deficit. So there is a very drastic or big data behind the fiscal deficit, that every time every year the economy was facing the problem of fiscal deficit. So the need was there to change, to make the economy change. So under the the committee of Narasimha Rao, under the committee of Narasimha Rao, so they decided that some reforms has to be brought up in the economy to boost the economy or for the economic growth or for the economic health of the economy. Then next you can see increase in the adverse BOP. No doubt the balance of payment was going to be worsened day by day, year by year, and the economy was facing the problem of fiscal deficit from the last many years, and it was not possible to run the economy in the same manner. So there was a need to change, to bring a big drastic change in the economy. No doubt Gulf crisis arisen due to which the petrol prices goes up. Then what happened then, if the petrol prices are went up, then we have to pay more, we need more currency to pay the petrol. Then this was also reason to worsen the BOP, and this was also reason for the economics, to bring the economic reforms in the country. Then next you can say the fall in the foreign exchange reserves. The foreign exchange reserves were going to be fallen day by day, year by year. There was a worst and worsened position regarding the reserves also, and no doubt inflationary position also occurred in the economy, which you can say due to the rise in prices. These were the cost push inflation in the economy, which had ruined the economy before 1991. So it was compulsory for the government to bring some new changes in the economy. Then, no doubt, the poor performance of the PSUs, public sector undertakings, also means their performance were also very worsened day by day. So there was a need to bring a new change in the economy. So that's why the government decided to go for the economic reforms. Here you can see the next slide is the main features, or you can say the main areas where the economic reforms were brought in. That is liberalization, privatization, and globalization. So liberalization means what steps the government has taken to liberalize some of its matters, to liberalize some of its areas, to make the economy free. So simply means liberalization to make the economy free from the impositions of the control of the government. So before 1991, there were some controls on the Indian economy like licensing system, exchange rate control, price control, import license. So many things were there. So the need was there to means we have to liberalize the economy so that the economy to run very smoother, so that some new areas have to be grown up. Then what happened regarding the liberalization? The determination of interest rate. Uh, we have made the banking system as interest free. Means they can take they are means all the commercial banks can take the decisions regarding the interest rate. This is the financial sector reform basically. The increase in the investment limit of the small scale sector industries, which were earlier not possible. Then we have given freedom to the import capital goods. Freedom was given for the technical know-how practicization. Anything can come in India very easily. Freedom was given regarding the expansion and production to industries, which earlier was not possible. Then freedom was given from the Monopolies Act also. Then the removal of industrial licensing and registration was also there. Then the next you can say the step taken by the government is regarding the privatization. Means the government changed its module from the public sector to the private sector. The private sector was given the free hand. Anybody can enter in the private sector, and government has taken back its share from the public sector and sold out its share from public to private areas. Means the government had taken had sold out its share to the foreign government, to the private or to the public. So in this way, the disinvestment was also done in this privatization. This was the biggest change in the 1991 about the steps taken for the privatization. Number one, you can see here the sale of shares. The government sold off its shares in the public sector industries to the private sector or to the or to the other governments, that if the MNCs can take place in India. Then minimization of public sector was there. No doubt the government want to decrease the its power, or you can say want to decrease its burden by selling its public sector shares. Then disinvestment in PS2 was being done by the by the government. Then here you can see the number of industry reserved for the public sector was reduced from the 17 to 4, like transport, like atomic mineral, atomic energy, and the defense equipments. So these kind of steps were taken for the privatization, right? So here next comes about the globalization. Globalization means establishment of the relations of the economy with the world economy for the foreign investment, for the foreign trade, for the production and financial matters, so that there should be free flow of trade. There can be free flow of capital. There can be flow of labor and markets also, and development of the capital and technology, so that the country can also develop like other countries. So in the globalization, few steps were taken in under the globalization, that uh, the tariff quota was reduced. Then the government thought about the long-term trade policy. Partial convertibility of rupee was decided. Then the government also decided to increase the equity limit of the foreign investment also. So in these ways, you can say the globalization taken place, and especially this kind of reforms were there was a need to bring these kind of reforms in the economy, as the economy was not holding good, or there was many problems faced by the public sector units, and there was a need to go for not only the liberalization but the privatization. Globalization was also there. So that's all for the today's lecture. I hope you all understand that economic reforms were taken under the areas LP and G: liberalization, privatization, and globalization. Thank you so much.